Back in 2017, there was a time where Elver, Kuwait, and Arid did not exist. Crazy to think about the game without good created content, right? But one day, one modder decided to create a map, one never seen before. This isn't a video of me playing the map, it's me reviewing it and giving my opinions on the current things. Enjoy. Tales of Terror starts you in a NPC-filled tavern. Talking to the tavern keep will give you a prompt to say what you're looking for. You're redirected to the old man that supposedly can help you with your quest for coins and glory.
Okay, so basically there was supposed to be a part of the video which was just me talking about the classes, and that part turned out to be...
What the fuck?
Yeah, so I'll just give you the summary. Play the knight if you suck, play the warlord if you suck less, play the ranger if you're stubborn, play the rogue if you know what to do, play the wizard if you're hopeless, play the chemist if... Now back to the mediocre video about a very good mod.
After choosing your class, you're sent off to a middle-of-nowhere room with 3 items on pedestals. Taking one makes the other disappear. Going past the door takes you to a tutorial dungeon, appropriately named RMEZ in the map. It being only 10 rooms long, it served as a rite of passage to the real game. Notes are scattered around the beginnings of rooms to guide you. Voiced by yours truly, Librarian Gaming.
Dear traveler, I am leaving this note behind in the hopes.
After making your way to room 10, you'll encounter a different, bigger door leading to a boss room. The boss being a skeletal warrior. Taking him out is easy enough for mages, only taking 1 crystal. For melee users, it's a different story. Skills being about 6 times more expensive and still losing 25% after death makes dying incredibly punishing. If you happen to find a key, you could look for a hatch that allows you to escape and return to the tavern. But you wouldn't do that, right? You're not a coward, are you? Anyways, after annihilating him, a chest appears for you to loot, and the exit door is unlocked. Coming back to the tavern with loot and coins, you should talk to the barkeep and get a few drinks for free, no strings attached. Now that you have something of value, it's worth talking to the human trafficking bag and sell him some rare things you found in the dungeon. Don't bother with the blacksmith, he does nothing other than scam you for plastic weapons and occasionally allows you to repair items. The last useful NPC being the cartographer. Who would have thought that for 200 gold you could totally break the game after you finish your first dungeon? Buying a map from them and talking to the old man gives you an option to equip it under the class choice for the next run. Past the pedestals, a map appears next to the door, allowing you to choose any room you want. This is totally balanced and not broken at all. Map runners will tell you that running room 1 and 8 is the true gameplay of TOT. They're absolutely correct. After making it to room 20, some rooms will have their door replaced with boss doors. These bosses are not a joke, like the Skeletal Knight. Without coming prepared with a strategy, skills, and a decent weapon, you won't last long. The Lord of Fire will melt you down without proper armor. The Risen Knight will crush you if you carelessly try to attack him, and the Necromancer will strike you with lightning if you don't take cover. Alternatively, you could just max out stealth stats and stunlock them to death with a rock. But you wouldn't do that, right? You're not a coward, are you? At this time, you should have enough gold saved up to buy yourself a room from the Tavern Keep for 2,000 gold, and a chest from the Carpenter for 800. Spending your gold on expanding your storage is the best investment for now. After a few dungeons, you should encounter a room with the first quest NPC, it being the Wounded Hunter. After giving him a healing potion, he will tell you how he got there. Talking it out with him will give you the information about the beast lurking in the dungeon, and begin your first quest. Dead Man's Trail. A quest making you look for tiny footprints all around the dungeon. Truly a masterpiece in design. At least if you discover all the clues in the room, you should go to the next one with fresh tracks.
most of the time. After completely discovering 2 hoof tracks, footsteps, and bloodstains, the quest will count as completed, and the hunter, patiently waiting for your return, will reward you with 100 gold and a spear. How generous. 8 dungeons in, a distressed farmer appears when you enter the tavern, tells you about his missing wife that was kidnapped by a 3-meter glowing monster, taking her to the dungeon. To find her, visit the ghost room and walk to the cage on the left. She tells you that her eyes exploded and the jailer locked her in, took the keys and went away somewhere. Going into the extra door will lead you to a room with the jailer, a former CIA agent jacked up on steroids and able to kill you in 3 hits with the strongest armor. No chance you're fighting this one-on-one.
I wanna this guy. I wanna fucking this guy. I wanna hit him in the back of the head so he's unconscious and when he wakes up, I'm hitting him.
That's why you should max stealth and go on this coffin. Crawl to the stone head and throw a rock below. Wait for him to do an idle animation that raises his head and hit him in the chest. Make your way to the wife's cage and return him to the tavern. As a reward, you'll get a sickle that does more limb damage and 25 chocolate coins. During your trips further in the dungeon, you might encounter 2 6-foot Roid Rage guild members. Talking to the Blondie will allow you to pay a small fee of 5k gold to have access to guilds. A giant hub accessible via the tavern with a few comically large halls. You can claim one after completing the most grindy quest yet, Initiation of a Hero. 3 of each boss, 3 jailers, an extremely rare aggressive goblin, finishing 2 offerings, completing 12 dungeons after accepting and giving 12k gold. This will grant you a guild key, but most of the people playing on the server will already be in a guild or won't bother joining one, so enjoy the space you bought for yourself. Alone. Now, the last quest added, the best and worst so far. Curiosity's Trap. At about 25 dungeons, you should encounter a wizard in a library, standing next to a door with a magical circle on it. He tells you that his apprentice got stuck and fell down into a big-ass hole. After backing out of the room, he found the door magically sealed.
Jesse, open the door!
It's your job to break the seal and bring the apprentice back. To break the seal, you must find 4 books with clues in them about the symbols. The doors in the rooms have a higher chance of leading to libraries where the books are. Some even have another door for you to return to the wizard. Did I also mention that the code changes after you fail it a few times? You wouldn't dare fuck it up after looking for those small 4 books that are guarded by the most annoying enemy so far. Those being the librarians, with their stupid 20-meter range and animal-packed behavior that allows them to attack after a single one gets to know of your existence. While the libraries being packed is an issue, but you still have plenty of cover like bookshelves, right? Wrong. Animals with too big of a range can attack through objects and walls. After going past the sealed door, you find yourself in a huge open room with a sizable hole in the middle. Jumping down will break your legs. Same went for the apprentice on the floor, with his broken staff being your only source of light in the area. You have to clear the area by killing everything on the lower level. Water prevents you from cheesing the librarians, so tossing a rock next to the railing is your best bet at killing them. When the area is cleared, grab the apprentice and use one of the 2 exit doors. Then talk to the wizard, and the quest is finished. Your reward being a random bow charm, some gold, and a useless item that doesn't work for single player or multiplayer even. I went past a few things because I feel like doing everything here would not make you play the mod, as if anybody watches my videos anyway. Overall, Tales of Terror is a one-of-a-kind experience in Unturned, not made for all, with questionable balancing and challenges running out quite fast. Despite that, I always come back to it every October, be it on single player or the official server that is sometimes hosted. I just wish there was more to do, but Spyjack only works on the map for about 1 month each year. I do hope we'll finally add something new. Finally, after 2 years, we get something new. A mini dungeon accessible after completing the 3 main quests and finding 3 glyphs around the dungeon. The glyphs have clues in them, but they're so bizarre that one basically requires you to flip it by 90 degrees to even make proper sense. Once you're done with that, the door can be opened, giving you a way into... The catacombs are interesting. After entering, you're not really allowed to run past the enemies. Fighting is basically mandatory due to the doors being shut for about 30 seconds after entering a room. The fog doesn't make it any easier. You can barely see anything. My suggestion is to get a high room count before going in, because after 30 rooms, a special door replaces one of the previous ones, leading you to... On the pedestals are 3 skulls. You're only allowed to pick up 1 at a time, and your goal is to find a place to sacrifice them outside. After painfully navigating the cornfield, you should at least find one of the spots. Completing the sacrifice requires you to kill about 125 zombies. Your reward is a single legendary loot pool item and a symbol for the pedestal. After finishing the other 2 at different spots, you should have all these sacrifices completed, and symbols noted down. Punch them in and cast a dispel. The main piece of this expansion, featuring 3 new enemies and a new tier of weaponry that is upgradable via souls gained by killing things in your proximity. 50 souls are needed for an upgrade that also fixes the weapon to 100%. It's not all sunshine and rainbows just because the weapon does big damage. It will wear down a lot quicker and some break after reaching 0%, making you manage their usage a lot more carefully. Being around 25 rooms in allows you to use the green door and fight the new boss. Forgot to mention that dying anywhere in the new dungeon or teleporting out of it using the mirror will make you do the entire trip all over again.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so boom, I shot him. The thing is, okay, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Thinking, this time is gonna be different. No, please. This time is gonna be different. I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking at me. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. Do you think I'm bullshitting you? Do you think I'm lying? Fuck you! Okay? Fuck you!